right, everybody, man. Welcome back. We got an awesome episode today, episode 6 for Sage Wrestling. We got Dustin Plott, Oklahoma Stater, uh, two-time U23 World Team member, two-time All-American, two-time state champ. I mean, this resume just keeps going on and on, my guy. How you feeling though?
Doing well. How are you?
Good, buddy. Doing real good. How's things going since U23 World Team Trials?
Oh, going great. Went and saw some family in Illinois. Then actually had to get my front teeth removed again. So kind of had a couple weeks, a little more laid back on training and getting back into the swing of things now.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But at the World Trials, you got the front teeth.
Well, it's been a kind of ongoing thing. 2 year, my freshman year at NCAA's, I got double A. Ended up losing my two front teeth. Then I got implants put in, and the bone graft failed. So had to go in. I just set the date for after U23s because I knew I was going to compete. And so after I finished with the tournament that Tuesday, I went and got my front teeth taken out. But got a retainer in.
Got your little part.
Yeah.
My God, it's
Yeah.
like a hockey player, brother.
Yeah, I know. I know. My girlfriend and my mom aren't too happy about it, but
That's part
it's
of
all
it,
right.
though, man. That's that grind of it.
Oh yeah.
You get them fixed up in no time.
Yeah, for sure.
So you just been training, getting ready for Worlds.
Yeah. Well, just kind of typical off season training, lifting, wrestling, still running and stuff. It never really stops. So just trying to work on areas I felt a little deficient in, and yeah, things are going well.
Good, man. I'll tell you what, that finals with Karchla, I mean, it was
Oh yeah.
dude, that was, I'm telling you, it was the best one. I mean, it went two matches, but the way you go down, what, 8-0, 9-0,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, he's got a wicked gut wrench too,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, like you throw the nastiest leg, like your parterre is beautiful too, though, brother. It really is. Like you throw this
Thank
leg
you.
lace, I was like it, and it was tight. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
look on. I honestly felt bad because I was like, man, that boy looks like he's
Yeah.
hurt
Yeah.
because it was tight. But it was a thing of beauty, man. I mean, from 8-0, 9-0 to 21, it
Yeah.
was like, wow, what just
Mm-hmm.
happened, man? And you just kept it rolling, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
You,
Appreciate it.
you, yeah, you guys have met in the past before too, haven't you?
Yep. Yep. He teched me in the Fargo finals 10-0. So
I've seen that. I seen you were
yeah.
a two-time Fargo runner-up too. It was like,
Yep.
man, just
Yep.
you've done a little bit and won Super 32s. It was like, man,
Mm-hmm.
this boy's done a little bit of everything, man, from high school all the way up, two-time state champ. I mean,
Oh yeah.
uh, are you bigger into the? I mean, I guess do you enjoy more of the folk style or the freestyle side of things?
I like both, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go back and forth on an answer to that, and it's kind of whatever I'm doing. It's kind of what I'm passionate about. I like wrestling and freestyle and folk style. I both really like. So kind of whatever I'm training is what I enjoy doing. So yeah, I don't really lean too far either side.
Yeah, it's just wrestling, just doing
It's
that.
yeah, it's just
Respect that.
wrestling.
Yeah, I
That's
respect
right.
that answer. I do. And then, as you ever tried Greco? Was it just you just
Yeah,
sticked with the freestyle? Yeah.
yeah. So growing up, my dad always entered me in Greco and all the local freestyle tournaments, and then schoolboy cadet duels always got entered in the Greco. Did some Greco matches as well. Um, Not really my knack. I shoot a lot, so that Greco don't really go well. But I did get a lot of position, and I am comfortable upper body just from the Greco experience. And I still train upper body positions, but as far as strictly wrestling without being able to touch the legs, I'm kind of out on.
Absolutely. I mean, but you're a very offensive guy. I mean, you stay shooting, so I can understand trying to do Greco with your style of chain. I mean, my opinion, like if I had to classify you as something, it'd be like a chain wrestler. Like you just
Yeah.
go, like you just stay moving
Hmm.
with it. It's a thing of beauty, though, brother. You're one of my favorite people to watch when it comes to that. Like you stay offensive. And I actually, after your U23s, I watched you do like a little interview afterwards. Somebody came up and you were saying just how you kind of wanted to work on your defense a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it more just like the takedown deal, or is it more like your parterre or with freestyle? Is that like just the whole ordeal altogether.
Yeah, really all together. My defense on my feet still needs to get better. Something I'm working on. Really just not giving up any easy takedowns, right? Where the guy didn't have to expend much energy and he's getting a takedown. Trying to avoid that, obviously. But that and my parterre defense definitely needs to get better. My gut wrench defense didn't really train the position a whole lot before the tournament. And so I had Karchla in the finals and knew he had a great gut wrench. I was like, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're about to try to fight this gut wrench. So, yeah, could have
Hey, it all
definitely been
worked
better
out.
prepared for the match. Yeah, it worked itself out. But those are two big areas I'm definitely working on.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I can definitely understand it. But I mean, honestly, before the Karchla thing, I mean, what you gave up 4 points going into the finals, 4 or 6 points, something like that, but throughout the whole tournament. So I mean, altogether, it was. I mean, even defensively, you had a pretty solid. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
tournament. You know
good,
what I mean?
solid.
Outside of
Yeah.
some gut wrenches by Karchla, it was. I honestly like I didn't get the catch. I just went back and watched it right
Mm-hmm.
before like you last year at your U23s, and I honestly didn't know you were like this solid, like because like sometimes you see some really good folk style kids and it
Yeah,
doesn't translate over to freestyle, but it was
yeah.
like wow, like
Mm-hmm.
you're for real and you're part there, and like you obviously are amazing on your feet as it is, and now when you could go down and you can lace like that, like I mean you keep grinding, brother, you're gonna be
Oh yeah.
right up there with everybody else.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's high school. I trained quite a bit of freestyle and had some success with it. But then my senior year was COVID year, so there wasn't really much freestyle going on. Um, then after my freshman year of college, I had to get shoulder surgery and teeth repair stuff. So I kind of had 2 years off freestyle, just COVID and injuries and stuff. And so I was definitely excited to get back to it this past year. And I really didn't train a whole. I've trained more freestyle this year than I did last year, and it's definitely exciting training something different sometimes. And I'm excited to see my progression with it the more I train.
Now, does it ever like whenever, all right, so you go to Worlds, you do your thing, you get
Yeah.
back into get back in
Hmm.
your Cowboys singlet, you're doing your
Yeah.
folk style thing. Does it ever affect you in any way? Like, I mean, going from I didn't do a lot of freestyle. I mean, I
Yeah.
wrestled when I got on the mat when I was 5 and wrestled till I got out of school almost. But it was like
Okay.
what never touched freestyle a day in my life, honestly. Like so I never had to know what it was like to switch from one to the other. But is it pretty pretty easy to go right back into folk style?
I've never had much of a problem with it. Now, with Worlds being at the end of October and the season being right around the corner, I don't anticipate having any issues with it. It is kind of quick turnaround, but I'll still be training collegiate through the summer as well as freestyle. Kind of switching off with it. But yeah, I don't, I don't see any problems with it. And this is not something I've really struggled with. I don't scramble the most, and when I do scramble, I don't really roll across my back. And so, transition into folk style, I don't really wrestle much different, other than, of course, bottom instead of parterre. So,
Yeah, and that kind of is what it seems like. I feel like most guys that are good on their feet, it seems like it works out well for them. I mean, it's really
yeah.
just getting that part tear down, getting that gut wrench, getting them laces, uh, and I guess learning how to, stay belly down. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? That it's got to be. I mean, some of these guys are just monsters at turning, and it's like, man, and I've seen some of these guys where like even like what you're saying, like you want to work on defensively. It's like, what do you go about? How do you stop somebody like Kartzla's gut wrench for one, or you know what I mean, or just there's so many of them out there that have a crazy gut wrench like that, and especially overseas. Like then
Oh,
these
yeah.
guys eat, breathe, and sleep it. So it's like, how, I guess, what's the best way to try to like prepare for
Yeah.
that in a
Um,
freestyle?
for me, it's kind of learning more skill as far as how to do it. And then really just getting the feel of guys on top of me that are strong and have good gut wrenches and learning how to fight them off and effectively not let them have a lock. And then if they do get a lock, where I'm going and how to stop it, sort of thing. But yeah, I'm very fortunate. We got some guys in the room that got great gut wrenches, so really gives me the opportunity to get that defense better sorted out.
Now you just stay right there, Oklahoma. It's like you just stay training right there at home. You don't
Yeah,
go yeah.
yeah. We mostly just train at Oklahoma State. They talked about we might be doing a training camp. I'm not sure where, but traveling somewhere and wrestling with another program. But for the most part, we just train here.
Well, you got the best. I mean, you got the best coach in the world for it, man. I mean,
Mhm.
when you're working with John Smith, I mean, heck, you know he's the greatest of all time. So it's
Yeah.
got a good one to roll with there, buddy.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of great coaches. We got a lot of guys on staff now, and for me, my main coach lately has been, well, really since I've been at Oklahoma State's been Coach Tyler Caldwell.
Yeah,
He's had a position of recruiting coordinator, but really had a really large influence, and I feel like he doesn't. I mean, he gets coaching credit, but not the credit he really deserves for the role he plays with our program, and he's been doing a great job.
awesome, man. I mean, and that's good to hear because like you don't like I knew he was on the staff, but
Yeah.
to give, you know what I mean? Because like when everybody does look at it, I mean, it goes. You know, obviously you get a big name like John Smith and
Hmm.
Coach Smith, like obviously that's, you know, straight to where the so
Yeah.
that's I respect it for you
Yep.
even giving that shout out, buddy. That's awesome.
Yeah, and Esposito, Perry, Gary Wayne, uh, Chandler Rogers, Dakota. We got a lot of great guys to be
Yeah,
around. A lot of great views with different pointers and different ideas, and it's great to have all these different once successful athletes, now great coaches, giving different inputs and different views on positions and just wrestling.
absolutely. Now with these like you guys got a heck of a recruiting class coming in, the
Oh
Christian
yeah.
Carroll. Uh Now you being the leader, you're the guy now. I mean, you're coming into the senior year. So
Mhm.
but how do you help them adjust to like I mean, you looking back at whenever you was a freshman, like what's some ways you can help those guys? Because I mean, it's a whole different animal from high
Oh
school to
yeah.
college. Like I've seen some guys I've watched in high school being I'm in Ohio, so it's like some really good high. I mean, Ohio's got some good wrestling, so it's like, man, these guys are they're dogs,
Mhm.
man. They get to
Oh
college,
yeah.
and what happened? So it's like, how do you help adjust those young guys to keep them on a track like you to be a two-time All-American, making U23 world teams and uh,
Yeah.
get them?
Something I need to think about more, but for me, it's kind of just encouraging them and helping where I can. No really big answer to that other than staying positive, helping. If I gotta, if they're messing up somewhere, saying something. But this freshman class, they're killers, man. They're
Yeah,
good, and they're
yeah.
all going to be good. I can tell you that they all work hard and good guys, and they're going to get the results they're seeking. I think.
I believe that too. I do. I think it, it's a heck of a class coming in. You get they're just going to keep growing and getting better. So I'm excited to see the future for you guys. And
Oh
dude,
yeah.
I'm really excited, honestly, brother, for your senior year because like I mean you steadily just I mean two
Mhm.
Big 12 championships. I mean, and going from where you was as a freshman and then the jump you made as a sophomore is just in my opinion, like whenever you watch it on tape, it sticks out to where it's like,
Mhm.
wow, like you made such a leap. And
Yeah.
then this year you add, you know, you go 25-7
Mhm.
and you get your Big 12. You and Mako have went at it too, man,
Oh
there at the
yeah.
Big 12.
Oh yeah.
You guys get after it. And it's that's some good matches to watch.
Mhm.
But I mean, how you just how do you look to it outside of an NCAA championship? Is that's it? That's the goal, right? I mean, is
Yeah.
there so I guess going from a two-time All-American placing six, which is, I mean, in my opinion, if you place the NCAA's, you're a bad man as it is. But to get up to that podium, like at the very top of that podium, like
Yeah.
what would have what do you think needs what changes what would you have to do like in your eyes
Yeah.
to get to the
Um,
top of
which I got 2 more years left of eligibility, but that that freshman year is my COVID year. But
right that COVID year throws it up. Oh, it's awesome.
hey,
Awesome.
yeah, man, I don't know what year anyone is anymore. To be honest, it's
It's
so confusing
confusing, bro.
nowadays. It's
It is.
it's it's a mess, really. But no, just it's collegiate wrestling, in my opinion, is a game of inches. And a couple inches off, I'm not even a starter at Oklahoma State, and a couple inches in the other direction, I'll be a national champ. And for me, that's kind of what I seek daily: is where can I gain those inches, right? Whether it's nutrition, mentality, skills, cardio, strength, and that's something I'm pursuing. And just the chase, the pursuit of winning a national title is something that's really cool, and it's something that I am going to achieve. And it's it's been an exciting journey, and of course I'm ready to get there. But the process it's been just as fun, and so I'm really excited for this upcoming season and looking forward to showing the gains that I've been making in different areas.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it because, in all honesty, especially offensively, it's like, how can you get back? I mean, and I'm sure for you, like you pick yourself, but it's like, man, you're such an offensive guy that it's, I mean, you stay shooting, you stay just on the offense, that it's like, I can't see, like, it'd be scary if you get better on your feet, buddy, and if in a neutral position. I mean, it really would. I mean,
Yeah.
they ain't gonna want to see you, that's for sure.
Oh
And
no.
I can honestly, I believe you keep, and you seem like you have a great mentality about the whole thing, man, which is awesome for like
Mhm.
anybody that does watch this, and young kids or high schoolers. I mean, they can really get a good, even myself as just a, what, a mid-30s guy, like just loves the sport and wants to find a way to be a part of it, help it grow, and get some guys' stories out there. And uh it's awesome to hear, how you guys attack it, or how each person does it differently. But I can really respect your way of just how you view it and going. And like you said, and I like the way that you put it, is in, I will achieve it. And so I can respect it, buddy. I hope you
Yeah.
do. I do.
I appreciate that. And I really appreciate you doing, a podcast, giving athletes a voice, and, fan bases to know more than, just seeing me on a mat. Um,
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's,
and,
and
my,
honestly,
I'm in, huh?
well, I was just gonna say, as a, no, that's my fault, buddy. But
Oh, you're good.
it is because, like, I've been such a fan of the sport, and I've always like looked up like the stats and who this guy is and where he came from and how he did
Hmm.
it in high school. And everybody is like, man, like, you really know your stuff, but it's like, man, but I'd really like to, like, talking to you guys is
Yeah.
like, to me, like, it's like, man, I've just watched you on TV for the last
Hmm.
3 years. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
really like the first couple ones I did with like Nathan Tomasello, and I was
Hmm.
like, kind of like, it's like talk for me. It's like somebody that loves Hollywood. Like if they were talking to an actress or actor or
Yeah.
whatever. But for me, it's like, man, this is the baddest dudes on the planet. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it,
For
I'm
sure.
hoping that, like, these, like you said, it gives everybody a way of seeing and who you guys really are. Like, on the mat, off the mat. Like, they just get to see what you're doing on the mat. So it's like, hey, take a look and see who these guys really are. And honestly, every interview I've seen you do, you always,
Oh, you
thank,
there? Sorry, I lost you for a second. I got you.
you got me.
Yeah, got you now.
But nah, every interview I've ever seen of yours, man, you always really praise God, and really put him first. And I think that that's also awesome for the youth, and just really another shout out to your character, man.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, it's a good thing to, because they try to take it out of everything. So it's like, man,
Mhm.
really, really good for somebody that like you to be heard, be out there, big guy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And that's kind of a big role in my mentality and why I wrestle is just God's blessed me with the gifts to wrestle. Growing up, I was never really any good at any other sport, and so naturally, I liked wrestling, and it's kind of just what He's blessed me to do, and it's something I want to do until I feel, if He's called me to do something else in my life, I'll go do that. And working hard, like I said, the process and everything, that just goes along with what I feel I should be doing with my life. And I know at the end of the day, win, lose, or draw, the sport, it'll never define me. But, I really enjoy being a wrestler and all the great opportunities it's given me, but it's not a end all be all thing, right? I'm going to use up every bit of talent that God has given me with my athletic career. And if it ever comes time where I feel like I've used it up, then I'll go on to something else, or if I'm called to do something else. But I'm kind of just I'm sprinting towards the finish line, but not really knowing what the finish line is or where it's at or anything. But
Yeah.
just, going for it, making the sacrifices and athletic. I know my athletic window's closing up, right? I've been wrestling since I was 4 or 5. I'm 22 now, and very rarely do you see guys wrestle past 30. And
Yeah.
it's crazy to think, man, several years from now, I could be done with this. It's like I got to do everything I can to make sure that I use the most of what God's given me. And whether that's never winning another match or winning a national title, it'll all be all right because I feel like I'm doing what I'm called to do.
Brother, you're making me a Dustin Plott fan. I'll tell you that. I don't think that
Awesome.
anybody could say it better, man. That's shoot, man. I wish we could have saved that right for the end because I mean that you killed it right. That was awesome though, and I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like that's the kind of things like youth kids and like I said, middle school, high school,
Hmm.
younger kids coming out of high school, like coming into college. Like I mean, I just hopefully they can take that same mentality, man, because
Yeah.
you're right though. He gave you a tool, you're using it, and whenever you do get a platform, even something as small as this, like a guy just starting out, like you
Yeah.
still find a way, like if say 1,000 people watch this video, man,
Hmm.
if one or two of them look at it and say, man, Dustin Plott's really following the Lord like this, and he's following God, and look where it's God, even look how good of a man he is, and you know what I mean, like then
Yeah.
it makes it all worth it right there, and it's like so it
Yeah.
I appreciate it, buddy, like putting it out there like that.
Oh, yeah. No, no problem. Like I said, I mean, it's what I live for, right? So,
Yes, sir,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's what I got to do.
Absolutely. But you'd be surprised how many people won't anymore. So I guess it's awesome to hear, especially up around here, man. It's like sometimes people would rather hide it rather than, you know
Oh,
what
no.
I mean?
Yeah.
And that I can respect it, and it's an awesome thing, big guy. So one thing I wanted to touch on though, like you were born in Bakersfield, California.
Yes, sir.
Did
Yep.
you like so and then you end up at high school at Tuttle High
Yes.
School. Did you live in California for a little while, or was it just like born there and then straight to Oklahoma?
So I was born in Bakersfield. My dad's from there, and that's where my grandparents were living when he was born. And he was born and raised in Bakersfield. He had me. I lived there till I was about 4 years old, so I don't really remember much. But he works in the oil field, and his job transitioned him, transferred him to Oklahoma, whatever you want to call it, and been here ever since. Really, my family fell in love with the state. No other place I'd rather grow up in and live in. And it's kind of funny. I have a couple teammates now that are actually from Bakersfield, Andrew Bloomhoff, and then now new transfer Isaac Olenek. And it was like, who would have thought? I was born there, moved across the country. Now I'm teammates with a couple guys from my original hometown, and then
Small world.
I have friends that just go to school here that are from Bakersfield. So it's kind of funny, small world stuff. But
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah,
Small that indeed. So I mean, so you never even went even kindergarten. It was Oklahoma, huh?
yep, yeah, it was all Oklahoma. Yeah, like I said, I moved away. I don't know, I was probably 4 years old, and raised up in Oklahoma. So,
And you got a brother Sam, a sister Zoe, correct?
sister Sam, yeah,
Sister Sam, so two sisters.
yes, sir.
Did they ever step on a mat?
Nope, they never stepped on the mat. They're both mean as all get out, though. They
What
can both scrap. If they ever need to scrap, they'll be fine. Um, but yeah, they're both softball players. My older sister played collegiately, and my younger sister could have, but that wasn't what she was called to do or felt like she wanted to do. So she's going to school now to become a nurse and working, and super proud of what she's doing and what God's doing in her life and how she's spreading His love. And my older sister is currently in the Navy, stationed. She's stationed around D.C. I don't know the exact name of the base, but she lives in Maryland. So,
Awesome. I mean, they're doing good things then, man. That's good to hear.
oh
And
yeah,
now I'm going to take it that Mr. Robert is the one that introduced you and put you on a mat, right? At 4 or 5 years old.
yes, sir. He has been very huge in my wrestling career and development. he wrestled for just a couple years in high school, but he enjoyed it. And so I moved to Oklahoma. He got me wrestling around 4 or 5 years old. Um, been my coach pretty much ever since. As I learned and grew with the sport, he did too. And even now, after my matches, he's normally at every match, and I'll talk to him. Hey, you probably should have moved your feet more. And normally he's always right. It's funny how the older I get, the more I don't know. I got over the rebellious phase, I guess. In high school, he'd tell me stuff. I'm like, oh, you don't, you wrestled for a couple of years. You have no idea, but he's got a pretty good idea. And
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, I
He's
can't
he's
thank him enough.
watched you, been around it for so long. He's probably picked up on it and had a different probably look. You know what I mean? You
Oh
get
yeah,
somebody getting that different look on it. But that
yeah,
I think we all went through that though. I feel like you get to that high school stage
yeah.
and
Just the
you got
rebellion.
yeah, and it's
Yeah,
like, hey, listen, I'm in here grinding every day. How you gonna tell me? But like you said, they probably were right the whole time.
yeah. He's always had my best interest, and he's always pushed me to. And growing up, Dad tells you, "Hey, go run 2 miles." At the time I'm like, "Oh, you dumb," just mad. And at the time I was angry, but then of course now I'm like, I can't. Thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
I wanted to slap you, but thank you. It's all
Yes, sir.
it was for
Yes, sir.
my own good. You never would have done anything to put me.
Absolutely. And anything other than what's going to be best for you. He saw something in you at a young age and was like, let's go get this, son.
So yeah, yep.
And you're on your way. So that's awesome that he did. And I take it Miss Amy's been right there with him the whole
Oh
time.
yeah. Oh yeah, I love my mama. She's always kind of been a damage controller. I have a bad practice, a bad match, which my dad's not. He's always, yeah, you could have wrestled better, whatever. But yeah, love my mom. Saw them this past weekend over Father's Day. Spending time with them's great. Our family's really close. We all pretty much text. I still talk to my parents pretty much every day. So,
Hey, honestly, I'm shooting this right here at my mom's house. I live about a mile from them, and we live
oh,
out
nice.
kind of the middle of nowhere. And my internet, like where I have like internet's terrible. The phone service is terrible. So I fly up here for like a just so I can catch some decent Wi-Fi and some phone service.
Oh, yeah,
So
I got,
if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't even be able to shoot this down. I'm 35 years old, still
yeah.
still coming up to see them. So
Oh, yeah. I hope it never changes for me.
yes, sir. Me too. Me too. I hope I got a lot more years of this. So,
Yeah, for
but man,
sure.
I'll tell you what though, with where you've been, I mean, with the Super 32s, the NCAA's, the Fargos, the U23s, going overseas last year as a world team member. I mean, just this crazy resume. What- going? I mean, you're 61 and 19 through 3 years of wrestling in college. Like, what do you feel like most proud of that you've accomplished throughout this whole journey?
That's a really good question. I I really most proud of.
It's a lot. I know. Buddy, there's a lot there, so I can
Yeah,
understand it being
no,
hard.
yeah, I know. For me, it's just kind of, I don't know. This probably sounds corny, but just the development of the relationships with teammates and coaches and just individuals through this journey. Because college wrestling is definitely not an easy task. There's highs and there's lows, and the lows are really low.
Believe
And
it.
just those that have been there through it all, it's really eye opening to how much support that I have. And there's so many people that really don't care. If I was to wake up tomorrow and say, yeah, I'm done wrestling, they'd be like, oh, okay, well, what are we doing now? And that's something I'm really grateful for. Have awesome family, awesome group of friends. I got a great girlfriend who I met her. She didn't know I was a wrestler or anything. And so, she really don't care. If I were to win, lose, draw,
Stop or go.
yeah, it don't bother her at all. So, yeah, probably just the relationships I built through this sport, and you know how wrestling is. It's kind of I really I don't know. I made this analogy a while back talking about it, but kind of like cultish. Like once you wrestle, if you run into someone else that wrestled in public, it's like an instant. Oh, you wrestled? Where at? And instant conversation starter, and you feel connected to them. And
100%.
the sense of community that the sport gives, I think, is just amazing.
It is. It is. And I'll tell you what, there's nobody that, and it's been unreal. even just the amount of people like, and to be honest, like I've tried to reach out to nobody, I guess, and it ain't a or like a respect thing or disrespect, because I mean everybody, I don't care if you're never all American to all of American, but just but all of the people that have, man, or have really had a very successful career. And honestly, it was the people that I assumed probably wouldn't be I didn't think I'd probably be sitting here talking to Dustin Plott, a two-time All-American, like, you know what I mean, just
Mhm.
one of U23 world team member. Like yeah, it's huge, like, you know what I mean. So it is very humbling to just, once you just what wrestlers are, what the like with just the environment, and like you said, like what you do build through it. And yeah, it's well put, man. That is, because it's like a, I can see cultish. I get what you're saying. I
Yeah,
can feel that. I can
yeah,
feel that with it. Yeah. And it's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me, man. And I've had such, and I have a lot of regrets, because like when I was younger, I made mistakes and it took me off the mat. But at the end of the day, like I feel just like you, God's always led me for a purpose. And for some reason, for the last couple of years, I've been like, man, I just want to do something with the sport. I just want to do
yeah.
something. I wake up, I'm a heavy equipment operator by trade. So
Okay.
I'm in a dozer, an excavator, and it's just, I've been doing it for a good while now. And it's
Mhm.
just, I don't wake up and love what I do. And I feel like if there was a way for me to step my foot in the door in the wrestling world, I could wake. I don't even know what it might be like. And
Yeah,
but some one day, I mean, I've been talking about it with my family for years. They're like, man, just do it, just do it. And
yeah.
one day, I don't know what it was. I was talking to my cousin and my uncle. We went to the
Mhm.
state tournament and came back, and it was right after the NCAA's this year. I
Yeah.
sent them both a text. I'm like, man, going to get this podcast rolling. Let's do it, guys. And my
Oh,
my
yeah, for
my
sure.
cousin was all about it. She came up with the name, the logo. So
Okay.
me and her kind of jumped on it, and I just started reaching out to people, and here we
Mhm.
are, man. Hopefully it'll turn into something great, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. You're chasing it too. Let me know what I can do to help in any way, shape, or form. I'd be glad to help you out. And I love doing these things. Any chance I get to, you know, talk and, you know, I, I like doing it. So,
I could tell though. Like yeah, and like, and you just seem like that type of guy that, like, man, if you could help somebody and do something and it's appreciated, bro. I do appreciate you saying that, because
oh yeah, no problem.
it, it means more than you know. Even like I said, you taking this. But one thing to how you thinking about this 3-point takedown, especially with your offense? You liking it?
Yeah, I'm liking it.
I figure.
We'll
I'm
see
so
if that comment bites me in the butt later. But I'm excited for it. It's going to be different here, and 3 instead of 2.
it's what I said, the same thing.
That's the really only downside that I can see with it for me. But
Yep. I said to the T. That was exactly what I
yeah,
said. I was
I
like,
don't
man,
know if it's
I
gonna
love it.
promote more stalling, promote more action. I have no idea really. I just wrestle, so I don't look into all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing I knew that they were trying to pass, like the riding time rule, and I was like,
Hmm.
I didn't care for that one. Like, if you don't get a turn, then you don't get your riding time
Yeah.
point. Because I feel like that's like saying, hey, bro, riding a bull ain't 8 seconds ain't long enough
Oh
unless you
yeah.
jump off and drop kick it too. And it's like, what? Like,
That's a great analogy. Yeah. No, riding's tough. And
yeah, absolutely. You get a
if you're
minute of
doing
that, man.
that, might as well just make it freestyle because it's not
Yeah,
wouldn't be too far off.
yeah, absolutely. And I think and maybe, because I know a lot of people that want to just do away with folk style. Because I've talked to
Yeah.
certain people, it's like, hey, they should just make it. I mean, what's your opinion on? Would you be all right with it? Everything from youth all the way up being freestyle like every other country is, or would you like to keep folk style?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
wouldn't bother you either way.
I've heard of that argument. No, I mean that's because I really like doing both. I'm not real involved at looking into that stuff or any sort of rule changes. So to me, if tomorrow they're like, "All right, freestyle your round," I'm like, "Okay, sweet," or
Let's go.
yeah, yeah. Of course, I'd be like, "Dang, I wish I hadn't worked that much top and bottom," but
Could
um, yeah,
have said so.
I can't really pick a side on that topic because like I said, I don't really read into that a whole lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can respect it. Whatever they throw at you, but you're just gonna grind and do it. So I mean, I definitely get it. Me personally, I look at it like I'd be heartbroken if folk style went somewhere because
Yeah.
I just love the NCAA so much in college wrestling,
Oh,
and
it's awesome.
I do like I mean my wife pretty much she gets a little annoyed with me during wrestling season because I mean
Yeah.
it's what I do. I
Yeah.
watch it. It's like some people like deer hunting, some people
Yeah.
like I love wrestling, brother. It's just
Yeah.
it's a hobby for me,
Yeah.
like and so it at the end of the day, like I it'd be hard to ever see it go all freestyle, but at the end of the
Yeah.
day, like I do like freestyle too.
I could see what you mean. Yeah, it's funny. I was talking about it this year NCAA. Like I said, I love competing and love wrestling, but I'm also looking forward to being able to be a fan one day and come back and watch it. Be with some old teammates, be like, man, remember back in the day, this guy, that guy. But yeah, wrestling for me is really only sport, and I should probably follow it a little closer than what I do, but I'm really not a big sports guy. I hunt and fish quite a bit, and so
Yeah.
normally my free time is devoted to that. Wrestling and then softball are about the only two sports that I follow. So
I love softball too, though, man. If out of every outside of women's wrestling, like I love softball, big softball guy. So I definitely can relate on that one, buddy.
Mhm.
But man, I'll tell you what, I definitely appreciate your time, and I ain't gonna hold you up too much longer, man. But I hope we end up seeing you on top of that podium, man. And I appreciate everything you've done, man. Just the conversation, giving up some of your time and helping the channel out, and just
Oh yeah,
letting people get to know Dustin.
yeah. Thanks. I really appreciate you having me on here. And again, anything I can do to help with your podcast or whatever, just let me know.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. Keep watching that Tombstone, man. Keep Doc Holliday rolling. You know, that's
Oh
your
yeah,
guy, bro.
that's a great movie.
Yeah, it is. I seen he was your guy, so I was just
Yeah.
like, I got it. I love it. One of my favorite movies of all time, my man. So I
Yeah.
had to throw it in there, but I do. Like I said, I appreciate everything, man. So
Yeah.
I just hopefully we'll be rooting for you down at U23s and Worlds come October and come the NCAA's, man. I hope to see you up on that podium, big guy at the top.
Thanks. I appreciate it. You have a great night.
Yes, sir. You too, buddy. Take care, big man.